at the point where we were having tournaments and trying to figure out where the game needed more development.
Yes.
And
Needed a lot more
he became
development.
very jealous in these public
Why do you?
situations.
Well,
What, sir?
Okay.
I'm asking a question.
He became very jealous and possessive.
What do you mean he was being jealous and possessive?
He wanted to control my project. He wanted to control every aspect, how it was developed, how it was marketed, and every aspect of it. And
Give it some hope.
I put 12 years into this project for it to get to this level
And
on
she
my
couldn't
own.
do this on her own
my
without
own.
you.
She could. It would be a worse game than it already is, the one she's been working on, and the ones before that as well. While we're
You didn't think. I take it then, because as you're talking,
yeah.
you strike me as someone who doesn't really hold her in the highest regard.
Not after all that's happened. Not after being taken to court for a kind of
Well,
BS or
whose decision was it to stop seeing each other?
Mine.
Is that
actually,
true?
that's not true. She was sleeping around the community. I should be countersuing for
He's
adultery, to be
speculating.
honest with
Like
you.
I said,
she
he
has
was
a nickname,
jealous.
Candy
He's a
Crush.
jealous little
After
boy.
Miss Hackman, they called it
He's a
Candy
jealous
Crush.
little
I think
boy
they
who
call
can't
her
handle
Triple
it.
Xbox now.
Both
can't
of you
handle
are
it.
That's the
raising
last
your
one I heard
voices
is
as if
Triple
that's
Xbox.
going to help me resolve this dispute.
Sorry,
I'm sorry,
You
Your Honor.
sound like a guy that got kicked to the curb and you're not happy about it.
That's not true. I actually was the one who ended the relationship. She may say otherwise, but she was getting a bad reputation around for
pathological liar.
being
No, let me hear you
a little
talk.
bit loose. She was getting a bad reputation around the gaming community.
Look at me.
I've heard
Every time you talk this whole time, you're looking at her and you sound like a little hurt puppy. And the more you disparage her, the more it reflects on what's going on with you.
I'm hurt in the sense that
Stop. That's the first time you acknowledged that you were hurt.
okay, well,
You said, I'm hurt, and I said, stop, because if you dumped her and you dropped her and you didn't want to be with her anymore, what are you hurt about?
because she's actually affected my reputation by being associated with her. I mean, I'm hurt in the sense that I still hear people referring to her apartment as the PlayStation, and they're not talking about a gaming console here, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
No, I got it.
No, I'm getting emails with Elle sliding down a flagpole like on Mario Brothers, but it's her head photoshopped on Mario's head, and the flagpole is altered to look like something else. Same thing with Duck Hunt, only the words weren't duck and hunt, but words that rhymed with that. And then I have to see her, and this is in my inbox, in my professional business inbox, and that's the last thing, like colleagues of mine.
Tell
It's
me
the
more.
last thing I need to be
Get
opening.
it all out. Purge. Purge.
I was like, no.
Well,
no.
yes. No, I've seen other ones. One of her and her friend Jenny, who's also a game designer, who actually was a friend of mine before they were friends, and she's betrayed me. They sent me a picture of her and Jenny that said Super Mario
And she
Hose.
betrayed you as well. She betrayed you.
Yes, she betrayed me.
You feel hurt and
That's-
betrayed.
Yes, I feel slandered. If anybody's slandered, it's me. I was the one who already had an established position and reputation in the gaming community when I met Elle. And she is kind of, not completely diminished that. It's still strong enough where I'm doing fine. My games are doing well.
You know why I'm
Shoveling,
doing
Your
that?
Honor.
Because you are digging a hole and you won't stop digging. And the hole's getting deeper, and the more you talk,
That sounds like one of the emails I got about Elle.
Coming up.
what you don't realize is everything that he's saying strengthens your position.
I know, but it's so hard to hear.
I wanted to make sure that he got it all out.
I was still not.
Because now you're not going to say a word. I heard everything that you felt I needed to hear. We're here because he slandered you.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think he slandered you?
I have evidence as well as a
Why
witness.
do you think he slandered you?
I believe he slandered me because he was bitter.
And he was bitter
Because I ended the relationship.
Okay, that's what's going on. And so he started behaving childishly. And one of the ways he behaved childishly was by saying, what about you?
Honestly, it's so hurtful. I can't repeat some of the things that he said, but I do have some correspondence.
Show me. And I see you have a witness. Who is this person here?
My witness is also in the game industry as well,
Step
and
forward,
has
sir.
heard him slander my name in his presence.
And slander, we're talking about
awful things. I mean, down to death threats.
This is a
dog poop
letter
on
from
my
someone
front
in the
lawn.
gaming industry out of Santa Ana, California. You were terminated from a position.
Yes, that would further my development in my game
And why were you terminated?
because of the slander.
It wasn't.
It doesn't say anything about slander in here.
In the letter, it states there was some situations that were, I don't know if it said compromising
Your
or
termination is related to ethical questions concerning your behavior
that,
in
and
the
that is
gaming
due to
community.
what he
There's no
said.
specifics as to
Not my
what.
behavior.
Sir, I gave you a chance to get it all out.
Sorry.
What? This gentleman is Mr.
Gabe Hernandez.
So, Mr. Hernandez, why are you here? What happened?
Well, I'm friends with Ellie. I've been a friend with her about 5 years now.
And do you know Mr. Kwan as well?
I saw him a couple
You know who
times.
he is?
Yeah, I know.
You
who
don't
he is.
necessarily have a relationship with him.
No, not real, but
And
I know.
is there a
who he
relationship between the
No,
two of you?
Not at all.
No,
All right. And what were you going to say, sir?
So I'm a video game producer as well, and one of the events that
Hold
we
on
had.
a moment. You said something after I told you not to.
I think
And
the witness
you
is fault
said-
because he's been trying to hook up with Elle the whole time we've been together. He's her little Game Boy, and what level have you gotten to in
And-
Elle's world, Gabe?
So
You've been trying to get at that console for a while, pal.
you know, Your Honor, as you can see.
Hold on a moment. I specifically said I didn't want you to say anything else.
You asked me a question, Your Honor, with all due respect.
I asked you a question after you interjected without me saying it was okay for you to interject.
Okay. Please, Gabe.
Have several seats. Let's start with that one right there. Sit down. Go ahead, Mr.
So, Your
Hernandez.
Honor, as you can see, he's obviously hurt. So he tried to get revenge
Well,
on her.
you're not here to talk about whether or not he's hurt. You're
So-
speculating.
What I saw and heard when we were at one of these events, these parties for a video game, is I saw him and heard him going around telling that Ellie was just sleeping with journalists just to get good reviews.
Coming up on a
This is what you heard
Yes.
specifically.
So
And this was on one particular occasion.
yes,
And he made some reference to her and journalists who cover the gaming industries
Yes.
yes.
in terms of that's why she's getting all this praise. And had you already had this job?
Oh, yes. Like I said, I already developed my game. I was looking for partners to help further the development
And
of
the
that game.
email, it says, well, sleeping your way to the top, worth it. Way to go, you desperate B word. Mm-hmm. How about I come to your house and show you what a real man can do? I'll be on my way.
Keep reading.
Now, this is what
It's hurtful.
He's sending these
Yes.
messages to you.
To me.
No.
It gets worse.
So you know the next stop, once you're sitting there, I'm going to kick you to the curb. I hate it when walking ovaries think they're smart enough to program. There's no way this chick could ever have gotten those 9-10. What's 9-10?
It's the review.
Oh, a 9 out of 10 for her crappy game without sleeping around. Who is this being sent to? Sluts like you are the reason why women are the inferior gender.
It's sent to me.
We all know exactly who you are. Go see if one of your mattress buddies can help you now. Go kill yourself before I come and do it for you.
That's a threat. That's a death threat.
Stop trying to make games and go back to the street corner you came from, you whore.
Slander.
It was all
Time to
created
head
by
back
him.
to the kitchen.
Those aren't from me, Your Honor. Those are people.
Like
No,
I
but
said,
you created it.
He's a
because
pathological
people
liar.
in there.
You're not talking to him.
He's a pathological liar, sir. And
I get it. All right, I get it.
coming up on America.
Where does the $10,000 come into play? You can have a seat, sir.
sir,
Thank you.
the job that I lost would have helped, like I said, for the
Where
development
does
of
the
this game.
$10,000 come from? Why that
It comes
specific
from
amount?
expenses that would have been paid through
Show
that
me
company.
proof of those expenses.
I was terminated. Those were all confidential with
You
the
were
company.
already working, so what sort of payment were you receiving from this
We
establishment?
were not. We had not finished solidifying the contract.
So what are your damages?
My damages are now no other programmer or company will help me develop this
Show
game.
me that.
I don't have that with me.
Understood.
I felt that evidence alone would
All
definitely
the
be
things that I
enough.
just read, this was being sent to you.
Yes.
From him.
Yes.
Got it. Based on the evidence and the testimony. Now you can step forward. You don't have to say anything.
not
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, they were from you. The gavel is going to come down in favor of the plaintiff.
So now you have more than the top score on
Sir!
pole position as well.
Okay, you know what?
And that's why you got to go.
He's got to go.
He's
go.
go?
Go.
You're out.
You're
Let's
out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go, buddy.
Here's the issue. You're not moving fast enough.
Go.
But how do I?
Just go. Please.
Oh my God.
Well, you were the one that was dating him.
Sir, I thought I was dealing with an adult here, even though we're dealing with games here.
Here's the issue. Even though I said I'm going to rule in your favor, we still have to calculate what's the amount. $10,000 just happens to be the maximum that you can sue for in your state.
Yes, sir, and that's why I
Just
listed that.
because it's the maximum doesn't mean you're entitled to it. You still have to show some level of damage.
I thought
And
that.
what you're not talking, you're listening. We have too much chit chat going on.
Judge Ross.
I do believe he slandered you.
Okay.
I do believe your reputation may have been injured as a result. I'm speculating as to what is the extent of the damage.
I'm out of being a
You're
programmer.
listening. You getting ready to do like him. I understand that there was some possible damage to your reputation. I don't have any idea as to the extent, so I have to speculate, which is why evidence helps me. If you say, this is how much I was making, this is what I lost, these are the clients that have said this and that. But even the letter here, it's so vague, it doesn't directly address the slander. But given that his behavior was so outrageous, so over the top, and so personal in terms of being vindictive and cruel and mean, I think at a minimum, because I don't have anything, I'm going to give you monies, but your judgment will only be $500. That is the order. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $500.
My jealous ex-boyfriend ruined my reputation in this industry, and $500 just doesn't cut it.
She made more off this case than she will off any of her games. I guess my princess is in another castle.